either grammatically or pronunciation, register, etc. But it's okay to make mistakes. I remember a teacher when I was in 3rd grade who once said catch instead of caught. And according to my teacher, during an interview, I said teach instead of teach. After 1 year of college, many classes in writing and speaking have come along. Some may wonder why I've chosen to study English, because we already know the language. Well, the thing is that we never stop learning a language. I have had much benefit from having taken the IB program. It contributed to the fact that I already knew a lot about writing essays, and consequently, I didn't have to put much time in it. We started with a 600-word essay at my university, and to write that we got 7 weeks, and another week to write the final version. Impossible to fail if you realize that we only had 120 minutes to write a 1,000-word essay at the IB exam. Even though some of you will never really do something with your IB diploma, you will all benefit from it. Almost every study program includes writing an essay, and many lectures will be taught in English. And not to forget, every student is required to show a critical point of view while analyzing articles. I wish you all a very nice time at university. My year has passed so quickly that I forgot to show up here. Even though I promised, but I'm here now, so good luck and see you all.
Just a fond of me. Roy, when I see you, I remember the poetry classes. When it was your turn, the entire classroom was transformed into a luxury restaurant. The appetizer consisted of a poem, the main course consisted of a poem, and the dessert was a poem that the students had to make. This lesson was very special and original, just like you are. Congratulations. Thomas, you're a star at debating because you love to provoke. In 4th grade, you had to produce a magazine. In no time, you had a group together for a magazine on sexual taboos. Well, no worries. I will not bother the rest of you with specific contents, but it caused a heated debate and quite some flutter. Keep up the good work, Thomas. Continue to provoke and stretch the limits, but never hurt other people. Congratulations.
Quite special. It's for Elisabeth van der Veen. I tell my story before the camera? Well, I do. Being introduced by your older sister, Elisabeth, you knew whom to ask and whom not. You knew the unwritten rules, and she learned you how to handle with teachers. So you were earlier than anyone on inside in our school, knowing the ins and outs. But from the very beginning, you were a very serious and hard-working girl, with that what I would call a very high standard of working attitude. If you would have the possibility of cloning, is that a good word? It's not in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary, okay, cloning. Make one, 2 of 1. Okay. If we would have the possibility, I would order immediately a whole class of Lisbeths. And I would put for this whole class, as a teacher, another of these Lisbeths. You were wonderful, and I wish you. For you the story, listen carefully, Sneeuwwitje en Rozenrood. Frauke, only at the very end, Frauke, I lost my temper on the moment that we tried to help you because some problems with the administration of your marks. Where are you, Frauke? Where are you? Right there. I lost my temper because of your endless perfectionism. You are so well talented that the experience with less gifted people like me and others tended to be unbearable. On the other hand, I admire your strong will to go on and work through a lot of problems, as you did together with Kevin, in the realization of your Paul Veldijk stuk the cosmopolitan, well, my compliments. Could you the story Koning Leicester? Ivar, where are you? Suzanne Janssen. Oh, okay. Listen, Suzanne. You were one of my best students when it concerned what they call social intelligence. With very high consciousness about people around you, what they think and feel, and about all what they need. Mostly with a big smile and twinkling eyes, with a charm and an open mind. And I would say, go on with being such a nice person, but don't forget yourself. And that's the reason why I sent you this sprookje Assepoester. Well, that's not for Joe. Joe, where are you? Okay, listen. A little naughty boy having two older sisters, exactly knowing all the tricks how to handle the cope with teachers. That was your start 6 years ago. And only at the very end, in the last year, you had to prove to be Joe and not to be a Kuiper. Your qualities, in my view, are your good sense of humor and your ability to work under stress, getting around with anybody and having a positive view on the world. And I would like to have you as my manager, but you as a director of a great hotel and I as your guest. Well, for you the story of de koningszoon die nergens bang voor was. Physically, always in the background, happy, not invisible, never complaining and always hardworking, shortly at school a perfect student. But in life, once you have to stand still and fight for your place in this world. But for me as a lazy teacher, sent me 100 binda's. And for you this story, de sterrendaalders. Try to find it. Okay.
Claire. There you are.
The last year at our school wasn't very easy for you, and unfortunately you didn't pass your government finals. However, your IB results were very good. The examiner appreciated your skill at writing and your excellent command of language. Especially your imitation of Seeley's language was well done. I'm sure you will be as strong as Seeley and you'll get there, my dear.
Somewhere. I haven't noticed you. Oh, yes. Somewhere. If there's one person that deserves this certificate, it's you.
Well gifted, writing a superior profielwerkstuk about genetic engineering, you gave me the feeling that I was privileged to have the possibility to teach such splendid people like you. But each thing has a shadow. You, as a TVWO student, had to lose in the very beginning your spontaneity, knowing being the best and being expected to accelerate. So working with you meant sometimes looking away through a wall of glass with a certain distance and control. It was hard to get you laughing, but if you did, it was a real present. Thank you for it. For you the story De Gouden Vogel.
Wait for me. Wat een land, denk ik hoor. Lieve dames en heren, ik ga nu even over het Nederlands. Dan voel ik me toch wat lekkerder, moet ik eerlijk zeggen. Dit is ook het laatste jaar dat mevrouw Zweers het tweetalig departement heeft geleid. En dat heeft ze ontzettend goed gedaan.
This makes it even harder because, each year when a cohort leaves this school, you will find me crying a bit on this evening. Because I saw you coming in as, little guppies, so to speak. And I saw you growing and, getting better. And I know we've had our differences, but that just is part of growing up, isn't it? And, I guess that's it, because it's about you. And that is what I want to do now. I need all you to rise, please. Right. Because, dear graduates, the ceremony is not over until you have really graduated. And the only way to do so is to toss over your tassel to the other side. You know what your tassel is, right? You need to throw it from left to right, from right to left. My! The tassel is the question. Okay, so when you wear it to the left. So, okay. So now, Ivar having trouble? Oh, sorry, Ivar, Roy. Oh, I always do that. I've always done that, ever since first grade. To the left. And now there's one last final official thing we have to do before we all go back to room 005 to change. And that is to assemble here to make a group's photo in which you throw off your caps. Okay, so please come over here. Okay, one. I want to let you in a little secret. I moved to the VWO team, and Mr. Marshall did too, because he can't do anything without me. So, 1, 2, 3! Okay. I guess that went very well. Now I all need you to step down and just grab a cap from the floor and take it with you to room 005, please. And ladies and gentlemen,